come true.
I got a list of people that doubted me. That keeps me motivated.
Momo, did you hear something?
The era of basketball we grew up in was shiesty. Like, everybody was hungry. Even the top dudes that everybody knew in the United States was killers.
Today is just more so one of those just straight to it days with Chase. I've allowed us to have a little bit of not necessarily time off, but due to all the travel and things like that, like, hey, give your body a rest this week, have time to just really recoup as much as possible. So today is one of those, hey, let me just check on your body. Right, let's check these movements, let's check how you've been feeling. So today it's really about, hey, how do you feel, how are you moving, how is your body reacting to it. If you think about what we talked about, 90 degrees, right, that back toe, if that's not talking to that muscle, then it's not going to flex, right? So before you even drive up off of that heel needs to come down. Part of your foot was feeling weird. What part of your foot is it?
I didn't say it feel weird, I just knew the shit was gonna hurt.
Like the actual arc of it. So, all right. So when you're feeling this right here, are you actually feeling the blood flow and everything on that side? All right. So let's actually just take your foot through movements. Right, slide back. Let's take your foot through actually just movements of what your toes are doing. You feel any grittiness or anything like that? Every time you get input from the foot, it's gonna tell you, like, if I like push your toes down, right, and I do that, you feel your quad flex, right? If we don't have certain parts of like that actual like proprioception, right, which is just a fancy word of input of the body, right? When you feel something, like your body will tell you, I'm stepping on grass, I'm stepping on concrete. You know, the sensitivity of your body being aware of what surface you're standing on. If you're not getting that input from the feet, your upper body is going to make some type of adjustment to that, right? If you're not aware of what you're standing on. Well, yeah. Come on, dog.
Chill out. Relax. It's been a long week.
I told you, man, people wear the wrong shoes all the time.
Does it hurt at all?
Like a motherfucker. I'm just playing this shit out. This shit hurt like a motherfucker. This is the most painful shit to me. Out of everything, dry needling.
And honestly, all I'm doing is just letting the foot feel where it should normally feel contact, right? It's not that I'm doing any type of like adjustment to his foot or nothing like that. All I'm really doing is knowing about the foot itself just helps me actually try to break up certain stuff, right? I know where he's feeling the pain, or he's feeling that blockage, or not feeling something, so something's not getting blood flow. So that way it makes it easier to hit these spots. Yeah, I can tell him to go home and use a therapy ball to try to roll his foot, but rolling over something is not necessarily the best idea. I want him to actually feel like, hey, do you feel this breaking up, right? Can you feel this blood flow, you know, when you do this? So that way, when he does got to get back on the plane, when he does got to get to his next destination, you know, things like that, he can know those spots exactly to hit when I'm not there. You know what I mean? That's my biggest thing, is making sure that he's aware, like, hey, it's this part, it's this part, it's this part, right? So he can actually feel, okay, I know where to go next time, right? And it's not just, oh, let me just use a tool and just be rolling my foot. You know what I mean? That's nonsense.
For sure. I got you.
There it goes. Right, try to wiggle his toe.
Hang on a second. You just put me in pain for 5 minutes.
Yeah. If someone is having problems move here, right? Here has to figure out how to deal with that, right? And we know that this movement and the hip movement and the knee movement are all 3 different things, right? Whatever the ankle does, these joints are next in line to try to make something happen. But unfortunately, in his situation, when the knee, right, had a blockage to going up, the hip had to compensate and the ankle had to compensate. So as we got better at the hips, it was easy for him to do certain movements. But as we started working lower and lower and lower at the feet, that's been the difficulty. Is when your body has learned how to do something new because of something else, you tend to have these different patterns of, oh, I made this stronger, right? But really it's like, no, I have made this thing overactive, right? I overused this thing that wasn't intended to be used this way. And now the body's like yo, like, what are we doing, right? But now since doing the myofascial acoustic compression, and then doing the dry needling, with the team, what we've been able to do is get all these 3 talking to each other again. So now it just feels, honestly, it just feels weird, right? Like down, all right, again, but all right. So you see how you're naturally, every time you come up, you start to bend the toes back, right? That's 2 different motions. That's 2 different things, right? Move your toes. You notice your ankle not moving. All right, that's 2 different things, right? Move your ankle. You see how you automatically start to recruit here because we spent so long not being able to actually dorsiflex, right? And the foot itself, if it wasn't given that information for so long, right? Your body had to learn to do something else, had to do something different, right? So now if you think about it, right here, put the toes down, boom, right? Keep this pressure, push me down, boom. As you go up, don't let this pressure go. You get what I'm saying? So it didn't stop here from moving just because you still had your toes down, right? Push me back down. Boom, let the ankle come up. There, again, push, boom, come up. If the toes are telling all this what to do, you'll drive straight up. Those muscles will fire because that's input, you know, right? Flex your quad right now. You see how easy it was to do it? And even though you're not standing on the ground, I'm just giving you pressure at the end point. That's the sensory reception. That's your body saying, oh, okay, you want me to flex right here. You want me to flex this muscle, right? Right? If I'm pressing here naturally.
Ain't nobody safe in 2023.
Pretty much, because now it's just unlocking
nobody.
everything.
Your mammy, your grandmammy, your papa. Like the era of basketball we grew up in was shiesty. Like everybody was hungry. Even the top dudes that everybody knew in the United States was killers. Like it's not hoop culture. I wouldn't say it's not the same. It's more friendly now. And then they don't know how to separate the two. When we step between the lines, I don't care who you is. I don't care if you're my mama, my dad, EJ. like even when we play, if we on the other team, I'm trying to hit him.
We not friends. Yeah, we not friends in the court.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like now it's just like everything's watered down. Like everybody wants to be social media, everybody wants to be friends, and you kind of see it in college basketball now. Like college basketball used to be like, think about it. Everybody used to watch college basketball when it first kind of went through the whole year, because everybody was hungry. Everybody was going at each other. Everybody was just putting everything on full display, because like everybody aspirations to play in the league. But the main thing was you would watch college basketball over the NBA until the playoffs time, because you know the NBA players ain't really going crazy until the playoff time. But you know college basketball players is going ham.